Hello, and welcome to the Cozy Curiosity channel. Tonight, we're embarking on a gentle journey through one of nature's most remarkable processes, healing. From the moment you cut your finger to the slow mending of a broken bone, your body is constantly working to repair itself in ways both simple and extraordinary. We'll explore 100 fascinating facts about how living things heal, recover, and regenerate. Some will reveal the hidden intelligence of cells working together. Others will show us creatures with powers that seem almost magical. So settle in, breathe slowly, and let your mind drift through these calming stories of renewal and restoration. Whether you're here to learn, relax, or simply fall asleep, these peaceful truths will guide you toward rest. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It helps other sleepy souls find their way here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world. Let's begin. The human body replaces most of its cells every 7 to 10 years. Throughout your life, your body is continuously breaking down old cells and building new ones in a process called cellular turnover. Skin cells renew roughly every 2 to 4 weeks, while red blood cells are replaced every 4 months. Even bones, which seem solid and permanent, completely regenerate about every 10 years. Some cells, like those in your heart and brain, are more permanent and change much more slowly. This ongoing replacement means that the physical you from a decade ago was made of mostly different materials than the you of today. This constant renewal is one of the body's most fundamental healing mechanisms, allowing damaged tissues to be replaced with fresh, healthy cells. The process continues throughout life, slowing somewhat with age, but never truly stopping. It's a quiet miracle happening beneath your awareness every moment of every day. Scabs form a natural bandage to protect wounds while they heal. When you scrape your knee or cut your skin, blood rushes to the wound, carrying platelets, tiny cell fragments that begin the healing process. These platelets clump together and release chemicals that create a mesh of fibers, trapping more blood cells and forming a clot. As this clot dries and hardens, it becomes the protective scab you see on the surface. Beneath that scab, new skin cells are busily dividing and migrating across the wound, filling in the gap. The scab acts as a barrier against bacteria and dirt, keeping the healing tissue safe and moist. Once the new skin is complete, the scab falls away naturally, revealing fresh pink skin underneath. While it might be tempting to pick at a scab, leaving it alone allows the healing to proceed smoothly and reduces the chance of scarring. This simple protective layer is your body's way of creating a safe space for repair. White blood cells patrol your body like microscopic soldiers. Your immune system is constantly on guard, with white blood cells circulating through your bloodstream and tissues, searching for invaders like bacteria, viruses, and damaged cells. When they detect a threat, these cells spring into action. Some white blood cells engulf and digest harmful microbes, while others release chemicals that destroy infected cells or mark invaders for destruction. During an infection, your body ramps up white blood cell production, which is why blood tests can reveal elevated levels when you're sick. Inflammation, though sometimes uncomfortable, is a sign that white blood cells have arrived at the scene and are working to eliminate the problem. Fever, too, is part of this process, creating an environment that's less hospitable to invaders. These tireless defenders work around the clock, usually without you ever knowing, quietly maintaining your health and helping wounds and infections resolve. before they become serious problems. Broken bones can heal stronger than they were before the break. When a bone fractures, the body immediately begins an elaborate repair process. First, a blood clot forms at the fracture site, creating a framework. Within days, cells called osteoblasts arrive and start building new bone tissue, forming a thick collar around the break called a callus. This callus is actually stronger and bulkier than the original bone, providing extra stability during healing. Over weeks and months, the bone remodels itself, with other cells called osteoclasts breaking down excess material, while osteoblasts continue refining the structure. Eventually, the bone returns to nearly its original shape, but the healed area often remains slightly denser and more robust than before. This is why doctors sometimes say a properly healed bone is stronger at the break. The process requires time, proper alignment, and adequate nutrition, particularly calcium and vitamin D. Throughout history, broken bones have mended this way, a testament to the body's remarkable engineering. Salamanders can regrow entire limbs, complete with bones and nerves. Among the most astonishing healers in the animal kingdom are salamanders, which possess the ability to regenerate entire limbs, tails, parts of their heart, and even portions of their brain and spinal cord. When a salamander loses a leg, cells at the injury site form a structure called a blastema, a mass of undifferentiated cells similar to stem cells. These cells remember what they need to become, whether bone, muscle, nerve, or skin, and gradually rebuild the lost limb over several weeks or months. The new limb is fully functional, complete with the correct number of digits and proper nerve connections. Scientists study salamanders intensely, hoping to understand the genetic and cellular mechanisms that allow this feat, which could one day inform treatments for human injuries. While mammals have largely lost this ability through evolution, some researchers believe we retain dormant regenerative pathways that might be reawakened. For now, the salamander remains a living example of healing's ultimate potential. Sleep is essential for physical healing and immune function. When you sleep, your body shifts into repair mode, focusing energy on healing and restoration. During deep sleep stages, the body releases growth hormones that stimulate tissue repair, muscle growth, and bone strengthening. Blood flow to muscles increases, delivering oxygen and nutrients needed for recovery. Your immune system also becomes more active during sleep, producing cytokines, proteins that fight infection and inflammation. This is why you often feel the urge to sleep more when you're sick. Lack of sleep, conversely, impairs immune function and slows wound healing, leaving you more vulnerable to illness and prolonging recovery times. Even a single night of poor sleep can reduce the effectiveness of vaccines and increase inflammation. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to slower healing, increased pain sensitivity, and higher rates of chronic disease. The connection between sleep and healing is so strong that many hospitals now prioritize quiet, uninterrupted rest for patients. Giving your body those hours of darkness and stillness is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to support your own healing. Inflammation is not an enemy, but a necessary part of healing. When you twist an ankle or get a splinter, the area becomes red, swollen, warm, and painful, all signs of inflammation. While uncomfortable, inflammation is your body's first response to injury and infection. Blood vessels widen to increase blood flow, bringing immune cells, nutrients, and oxygen to the damaged tissue. The swelling helps isolate the injured area, and pain signals tell you to rest and protect it. Chemical messengers coordinate the entire process, ensuring that repair cells arrive where needed. Once the immediate threat is handled, inflammation gradually subsides, making way for tissue regeneration and remodeling. Problems arise only when inflammation becomes chronic, persisting long after the initial injury has healed, which can damage healthy tissue. But in its acute form, inflammation is a sign that your body is actively working to restore balance. Understanding this can help you appreciate those uncomfortable sensations as evidence of healing in progress, not something going wrong. The liver can regenerate even after losing significant portions of itself. The liver is one of the few human organs capable of true regeneration. If a portion of the liver is surgically removed or damaged, the remaining tissue can grow back to nearly its original size within weeks. This isn't simply scar tissue filling the gap. It's functional liver tissue with all the complex structures and capabilities of the original organ. Cells called hepatocytes, which make up most of the liver, begin dividing rapidly in response to injury, guided by chemical signals that tell them when to start and stop growing. This regenerative power made liver transplants possible, as a living donor can give part of their liver to a recipient, and both donor and recipient will regrow functional livers. The liver's regenerative ability likely evolved because of its crucial role in filtering toxins. Without this capacity, even minor damage could be fatal. Ancient Greek mythology recognized this power in the story of Prometheus, whose liver regrew each day, a tale that hints at humanity's long awareness of this organ's remarkable resilience. Scar tissue forms when the body prioritizes speed over perfection. When skin is damaged deeply, the body faces a choice. Take time to rebuild tissue exactly as it was, or quickly seal the wound to prevent infection and blood loss. The body almost always chooses speed, producing scar tissue, a type of collagen-rich material that closes wounds rapidly but lacks the complex structure of normal skin. Regular skin has collagen fibers arranged in a basket weave pattern, giving it strength and flexibility. Scar tissue, by contrast, has collagen fibers aligned in a single direction, making it less elastic and more prone to tearing. Scars also lack hair follicles, sweat glands, and pigment cells, which is why they often look and feel different from surrounding skin. Over months and years, scars can fade and soften as the body slowly remodels the tissue, though they rarely disappear completely. The formation of scars represents a trade-off, a compromise between perfect healing and survival, one that has served living creatures well throughout evolutionary history. Fasting can trigger cellular cleanup processes that promote healing. When you fast or significantly reduce calorie intake, your cells activate a process called autophagy, which means self-eating. During autophagy, cells break down and recycle damaged proteins, misfolded molecules, and worn-out organelles. This cellular housekeeping removes debris that can interfere with normal function and may contribute to aging and disease. Research suggests that autophagy can reduce inflammation, improve immune function, and enhance the body's ability to repair tissue. It's as if the body, when not busy digesting food, redirects energy toward maintenance and repair. Fasting has been practiced for thousands of years in various cultures, often for spiritual reasons. But modern science is uncovering biological benefits that may support healing. Intermittent fasting, which involves regular periods of eating and not eating, has gained attention for its potential to trigger these beneficial processes. While fasting isn't appropriate for everyone, particularly those with certain medical conditions, the research reveals that sometimes healing means giving the body a break. Starfish can regenerate an entire body from a single severed arm. Starfish, or sea stars, possess regenerative abilities that seem almost mythical. If a starfish loses an arm to a predator, it can regrow the arm over time, complete with all the necessary structures. Even more remarkably, in some species, a severed arm containing part of the central disc can regenerate an entirely new starfish, effectively cloning itself. This process involves dedifferentiation, where specialized cells revert to a more primitive state and then develop into whatever new tissues are needed. The regeneration can take months and requires significant energy, but it offers starfish a unique survival advantage. Researchers study starfish regeneration to understand how such complex structures can be rebuilt from minimal starting material. While humans can't regrow limbs, understanding the cellular and genetic mechanisms in starfish might one day inform medical treatments for tissue damage. For now, these creatures remind us that healing can take forms far beyond what we experience, and that nature has experimented with countless strategies for recovery and renewal. Emotional stress can slow physical wound healing measurably. The mind and body are deeply connected, and psychological stress can have tangible effects on physical healing. Studies have shown that people experiencing high levels of stress, such as caregivers of dementia, patients, or students during exams, heal more slowly from standardized wounds compared to less stressed individuals. Stress hormones like cortisol can suppress immune function, reduce the production of growth factors needed for tissue repair, and increase inflammation in ways that hinder rather than help healing. Chronic stress keeps the body in a state of alert, diverting resources away from repair and maintenance. Conversely, practices that reduce stress, such as meditation, social support, and relaxation techniques, have been shown to improve healing outcomes. This connection underscores the importance of mental and emotional well-being in recovery from illness or injury. Healing is not just a biological process. It's influenced by how we feel, how we cope, and how supported we are by those around us. Children heal faster than adults due to more active cellular processes. If you've ever noticed that children seem to bounce back from scrapes and bruises more quickly than adults, there's a biological reason. Young bodies have higher rates of cell division and more robust growth factor production, which accelerates tissue repair. Their immune systems are also more reactive, mounting faster responses to injury and infection. Blood vessels in children are more elastic and efficient at delivering nutrients to healing tissues. Additionally, children's cells have longer telomeres, protective caps on chromosomes that shorten with age and affect cellular aging and regeneration. As we grow older, cell division slows, collagen production decreases, and the body becomes less efficient at clearing damaged tissue. This is why elderly individuals often face longer recovery times and increased risk of complications. While aging is inevitable, maintaining healthy habits, proper nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate sleep can help preserve the body's healing capacity longer. Children remind us that healing is at its peak when the body is young and growing, a time when every system is optimized for rapid recovery. Honey has been used as a wound treatment for thousands of years. Long before modern medicine, ancient cultures recognized honey's healing properties and used it to treat wounds, burns, and infections. Honey creates a protective barrier over wounds, keeping them moist, which promotes faster healing and reduces scarring. Its high sugar content draws moisture out of bacterial cells, killing them through dehydration. Honey also has a low pH, making it acidic enough to inhibit bacterial growth. Some types, like Manuka honey from New Zealand, contain additional compounds with potent antibacterial effects. Studies have confirmed that honey can speed wound healing, reduce inflammation, and even combat antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Modern hospitals now use medical-grade honey dressings for certain types of wounds, particularly burns and ulcers. The use of honey in healing represents a bridge between ancient wisdom and contemporary science, showing that natural remedies can hold real, therapeutic value. It's a reminder that healing knowledge has been passed down through generations, refined by experience long before laboratories could explain why it worked. Platelets do more than stop bleeding. They orchestrate healing. When you cut yourself, platelets are the first responders, rushing to the wound and clumping together to form a clot. But their role extends far beyond simply plugging the leak. Platelets release a cascade of growth factors and signaling molecules that attract other cells needed for healing, including immune cells and fibroblasts that build new tissue. These chemical signals coordinate the entire healing process, telling cells when to divide, when to move, and when to start building new structures. Platelet-rich plasma therapy, which concentrates platelets from a person's own blood and injects them into injured areas, has become a popular treatment for sports injuries and joint problems, leveraging the platelets' natural healing factors. While research on its effectiveness continues, the principle reflects our growing understanding that platelets are not just passive clotting agents, but active participants in tissue repair. These tiny cell fragments carry within them the instructions and materials needed to begin healing, making them essential players in the body's recovery toolkit. Cold temperatures can reduce inflammation and promote healing. Ice has long been a first-line treatment for acute injuries, and for good reason. Cold temperatures cause blood vessels to constrict, reducing blood flow to the injured area and limiting swelling. This can help prevent excessive inflammation, which, while necessary for healing, can become problematic if too intense. Cold also numbs nerve endings, providing pain relief. After the cold is removed, blood vessels dilate, bringing a fresh surge of oxygen and nutrients to the tissue. This alternating constriction and dilation can help flush out waste products and support recovery. Cryotherapy, the use of extreme cold, has gained popularity among athletes for reducing muscle soreness and speeding recovery after intense training. Some research suggests that cold exposure may also trigger beneficial metabolic changes and reduce systemic inflammation. While ice should be used carefully and not for prolonged periods, as excessive cold can damage tissue, moderate cold therapy remains a simple, accessible tool to support the body's natural healing processes. Sometimes, healing means cooling things down before they can warm up and rebuild. Earthworms can regenerate lost segments depending on the species. If an earthworm is cut in half, contrary to popular belief, you don't usually get two worms. However, many earthworm species can regenerate lost segments to some degree. If the head end is intact and includes vital organs, it can often regrow a new tail. The tail end, lacking essential organs, typically cannot regrow a head and will die. The number of segments that can be regenerated varies by species, with some able to regrow quite a bit and others having limited regenerative capacity. This regeneration involves the formation of a blastema, similar to what occurs in salamanders, where undifferentiated cells accumulate and then develop into the missing segments. The process is guided by genetic instructions that somehow know what needs to be rebuilt. Earthworm regeneration has fascinated scientists for centuries and continues to offer insights into how simple nervous systems and body plans can coordinate complex healing. These humble creatures, often overlooked, demonstrate that even without brains or bones, life finds ways to repair and continue. The placebo effect demonstrates the mind's influence on healing. The placebo effect occurs when a person experiences real improvements in symptoms after receiving a treatment with no active therapeutic ingredient. This isn't simply imagination. Brain imaging studies show that placebos can trigger the release of endorphins, dopamine, and other chemicals that genuinely reduce pain and promote healing. The expectation of relief, the ritual of treatment, and the care of a provider all contribute to measurable physiological changes. In clinical trials, placebo responses can be so strong that they make it difficult to prove a new drug's effectiveness. The placebo effect underscores the powerful role that belief, expectation, and the context of care play in healing. It's not that the illness is all in your head, but rather that the mind and body are so interconnected that thoughts and emotions can influence physical processes. Understanding the placebo effect has encouraged more holistic approaches to medicine, recognizing that healing is not just about targeting disease with drugs, but also about supporting the patient's own internal healing capacities through trust, hope, and positive expectation. Stem cells are the body's master repair cells with unique potential. Stem cells are undifferentiated cells that have the remarkable ability to develop into many different cell types, from muscle and bone to blood and brain tissue. They exist throughout the body, particularly in bone marrow, where they continuously produce new blood cells. When tissue is damaged, stem cells can migrate to the injury site and transform into the specific cells needed for repair. Embryonic stem cells are the most versatile, able to become any cell type in the body, while adult stem cells are more limited, but still crucial for ongoing maintenance and healing. Researchers are exploring stem cell therapies for conditions ranging from spinal cord injuries to heart disease, hoping to harness their regenerative power. Some treatments, like bone marrow transplants, are already well established, while others remain experimental. The discovery and study of stem cells have revolutionized our understanding of healing, showing that the body contains reservoirs of potential waiting to be activated when needed. These cells represent the body's ultimate backup plan, a source of renewal that persists throughout life. Laughter and positive emotions can boost immune function and healing. It might sound too simple to be true, but laughter and positive emotions have measurable effects on the immune system. Studies have found that laughter increases the production of antibodies and activates immune cells like natural killer cells, which help fight infections and tumors. Laughter also reduces stress hormones, which can suppress immune function when elevated chronically. People who maintain a positive outlook during illness often report better quality of life and, in some studies, improved outcomes. The mechanisms aren't fully understood, but it appears that positive emotions influence the brain's production of neurotransmitters and hormones that regulate immune and inflammatory responses. Social connection, often accompanied by laughter and joy, also provides psychological support that indirectly aids healing. While positive thinking alone cannot cure disease, it can create conditions in the body that support healing processes. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to be happy when you're suffering, but rather finding moments of lightness, connection, and hope can be a gentle ally in the journey toward recovery. Planarians can regenerate a complete organism from tiny fragments. Planarians, small freshwater flatworms, are among the regeneration champions of the animal kingdom. If you cut a planarian into dozens of pieces, each piece containing a small amount of tissue can regenerate into a complete, fully functional worm. This astonishing ability is possible because planarians have a large population of pluripotent stem cells distributed throughout their bodies. These cells can become any cell type needed, whether brain, gut, muscle, or skin. Researchers have found that planarians have genetic programs that can rebuild not just tissue, but entire body plans, somehow remembering the shape and structure of the whole organism. This has made planarians a favorite subject for scientists studying regeneration and the nature of biological memory. Some experiments have even suggested that planarians can retain learned behaviors after regeneration, hinting at mysterious ways information might be stored beyond the brain. These tiny creatures challenge our assumptions about what is possible in healing and reconstruction, showing that under the right conditions, life can rebuild itself from almost nothing. Fever is a healing response that makes your body inhospitable to invaders. When you develop a fever, it's not the infection itself causing the temperature rise. It's your immune system deliberately raising your body's thermostat. Many bacteria and viruses thrive at normal body temperature, but struggle to survive when it's a few degrees higher. Fever also speeds up metabolic processes and enhances the activity of white blood cells, making them more effective at fighting infection. While high fevers can be uncomfortable and even dangerous if they rise too much, moderate fevers are generally beneficial and part of the body's natural healing response. Suppressing a fever with medication can sometimes prolong illness, though this must be balanced against comfort and safety, especially in children. Ancient physicians recognized fever as a sign that the body was fighting back, and modern medicine has largely confirmed this intuition. Fever represents the body's ability to create an internal environment where healing can occur. Using temperature as a tool to tip the balance in favor of health, it's a reminder that sometimes feeling worse is part of getting better. Adequate protein intake is essential for tissue repair and recovery. Every cell in your body contains proteins, and when tissues are damaged, new proteins are needed to rebuild. Amino acids, the building blocks of proteins, come from the food you eat. Without adequate protein, the body struggles to produce the collagen, enzymes, antibodies, and new cells required for healing. This is why nutritionists emphasize protein intake after surgery, injury, or illness. Muscles, skin, blood vessels, and organs all depend on protein for repair and maintenance. People who are malnourished or consuming insufficient protein heal more slowly and are at greater risk for complications. Elderly individuals, who often eat less and have lower protein intake, are particularly vulnerable. Good sources of protein include meat, fish, eggs, dairy, beans, nuts, and soy products. For those recovering from injury or illness, healthcare providers may recommend slightly higher protein intake than usual. The relationship between nutrition and healing is so fundamental that ancient healers prescribed specific foods to aid recovery, instinctively understanding that what we consume becomes the raw material for our body's repair work. The skin is your body's first line of defense and largest healing organ. Covering your entire body, skin is the barrier between you and a world full of potential threats. It blocks bacteria, viruses, chemicals, and physical damage from reaching the delicate tissues beneath. When skin is breached, healing begins within moments. Blood clots form, immune cells arrive, and new skin cells start dividing to close the gap. Skin also produces antimicrobial peptides that kill pathogens on contact. Its outer layer, the epidermis, constantly sheds and renews, replacing itself completely every few weeks. This ongoing turnover means skin is always fresh and ready to respond to damage. The skin's ability to sense pain, pressure, and temperature also protects you by alerting you to dangers before serious injury occurs. Despite being thin and seemingly fragile, skin is remarkably tough and resilient, capable of withstanding daily wear and healing repeatedly throughout your life. It's a living, dynamic organ that deserves appreciation for the silent, constant work it does to keep you safe and whole. Some bacteria in your gut actually help with healing and immunity. Your digestive system is home to trillions of bacteria, collectively called the gut microbiome. While some bacteria can cause disease, many are essential for health, aiding digestion, producing vitamins, and supporting immune function. A healthy gut microbiome trains your immune system to distinguish between harmful invaders and harmless substances, reducing inappropriate inflammatory responses. Certain gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory properties and support the integrity of the gut lining, preventing harmful substances from entering the bloodstream. Disruption of the gut microbiome, often caused by antibiotics, poor diet, or stress, can impair immune function and slow healing. Probiotics, live beneficial bacteria consumed in foods like yogurt or supplements, can help restore balance. Research increasingly shows that gut health influences not just digestion, but overall wellness, including wound healing, infection resistance, and even mental health. The idea that healing depends on microscopic allies living inside you is humbling and highlights the interconnectedness of life at every scale. Animals lick their wounds because saliva contains healing compounds. You've probably seen a dog or cat lick an injury. This instinctive behavior isn't just for comfort. Saliva contains enzymes, growth factors, and proteins that promote healing. It has antibacterial properties that can help prevent infection. Licking also cleans debris from wounds and keeps them moist, which supports faster healing. In humans, studies have shown that saliva accelerates wound closure and reduces inflammation. Compounds like histatin and epidermal growth factor in saliva have been identified as particularly beneficial. However, the mouth also contains bacteria, so excessive licking or allowing pets to lick human wounds is not generally recommended, as it can introduce infection. Ancient peoples likely observed animals licking wounds and intuited that saliva had healing properties, leading to traditional practices in some cultures of applying saliva to minor cuts. Modern science has validated that there is something to this ancient wisdom, though we now understand it's best combined with proper wound care. The healing power of saliva is a reminder that our bodies come equipped with their own medicine. Antioxidants help protect cells during healing by neutralizing free radicals. During injury and inflammation, cells produce reactive molecules called free radicals as part of the immune response. In small amounts, free radicals help kill bacteria and signal repair processes. But in excess, They can damage healthy cells, proteins, and DNA, slowing healing and contributing to chronic disease. Antioxidants are compounds that neutralize free radicals, protecting tissues from this collateral damage. Your body produces some antioxidants naturally, and others come from food, particularly fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Vitamins C and E, beta-carotene, and various plant compounds all act as antioxidants. Adequate antioxidant intake supports healing by reducing oxidative stress and allowing repair processes to proceed more smoothly. This is one reason why good nutrition is emphasized during recovery. While antioxidant supplements are popular, research suggests that getting antioxidants from whole foods is more effective, as these foods contain complex mixtures of beneficial compounds that work together. The balance between oxidation and antioxidants is delicate, a dance that, when harmonious, supports the body's natural capacity to heal. Blood vessels grow new branches to supply healing tissues with nutrients. When tissue is damaged, it needs increased blood flow to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells for healing. In response to injury, the body initiates angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels. Damaged cells and immune cells release growth factors that signal nearby blood vessels to sprout new branches, extending into the healing tissue. These new vessels ensure that even the center of the wound receives what it needs for repair. Without adequate blood supply, healing stalls and tissue can die, which is why conditions that impair circulation, like diabetes, often lead to slow healing wounds. Once healing is complete, many of these new vessels regress, but some remain to support the healed tissue. Angiogenesis is also crucial in cancer research, as tumors hijack this process to supply themselves with blood. Understanding how the body controls blood vessel growth has implications for both wound healing and disease treatment. The ability to grow new blood vessels on demand is yet another example of the body's sophisticated, self-regulating healing intelligence. Hydration is critical for every aspect of the healing process. Water makes up about 60% of your body weight and is involved in virtually every physiological process. During healing, adequate hydration is essential for transporting nutrients to cells, removing waste products, maintaining blood volume, and regulating body temperature. Dehydration can thicken blood, reducing circulation to injured tissues and slowing healing. It also impairs kidney function, making it harder to eliminate metabolic waste generated during tissue repair. Cells themselves need water to function, and even mild dehydration can affect cellular metabolism. Skin, the body's protective barrier, loses elasticity and becomes more prone to damage when dehydrated. Many people underestimate their fluid needs, especially when ill, injured, or recovering from surgery. Drinking enough water, along with consuming water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables, supports the body's repair systems. While individual needs vary based on size, activity, and climate, the simple act of staying well hydrated is one of the easiest and most effective ways to support your body's natural healing processes. Coral reefs can recover from bleaching if conditions improve in time. Coral bleaching occurs when corals, stressed by warmer water temperatures or pollution, expel the symbiotic algae that live inside them and provide them with energy through photosynthesis. Without these algae, corals turn white and are left vulnerable, essentially starving. If conditions improve relatively quickly, the algae can return and the coral can recover fully, a process that may take months to years. This demonstrates a form of healing on an ecosystem scale, where the relationship between organisms can be restored if the stressors are removed. However, if bleaching is severe or prolonged, corals die, and recovery becomes much more difficult. Coral reefs support immense biodiversity, and their ability to heal depends on resilience built through genetic diversity, healthy surrounding ecosystems, and relatively stable conditions. The recovery of coral reefs after bleaching events offers hope, but also serves as a reminder of the limits of healing. Just as with individual organisms, ecosystems have thresholds beyond which repair becomes impossible, underscoring the importance of protecting environments before damage becomes irreversible. Vitamin C is essential for collagen production and wound healing. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body, providing structure to skin, blood vessels, bones, and connective tissue. Vitamin C, also known as ascorbic acid, is required for the enzyme that assembles collagen molecules. Without adequate vitamin C, collagen is weak and unstable, leading to poor wound healing, bleeding gums, and fragile blood vessels. Scurvy, the disease caused by severe vitamin C deficiency, was once common among sailors on long voyages without fresh fruits or vegetables. Symptoms include wounds that won't heal, skin bruising, and tooth loss, all reflecting the breakdown of collagen-dependent tissues. Today, scurvy is rare, but even mild vitamin C deficiency can slow healing. Foods rich in vitamin C include citrus fruits, strawberries, bell peppers, broccoli, and tomatoes. The body cannot store large amounts of vitamin C, so regular intake is necessary. Ensuring adequate vitamin C is a simple way to support the body's repair processes, highlighting once again how healing depends on the building blocks we provide through nutrition. Trees can heal wounds by growing new bark and sealing damage. When a tree's bark is damaged by storms, animals, or disease, it doesn't regenerate the way animal skin does, but it does heal. The tree produces a callus, new tissue that gradually grows over the wound, sealing it off from the outside environment. This process can take years, depending on the size of the injury. The callus tissue is made of undifferentiated cells that eventually differentiate into bark and wood. Trees also produce resins and chemicals that act as antiseptics, protecting the wound from fungal and bacterial infection. Over time, the wound may be completely covered, though the tree often retains internal scars where the original damage occurred. Trees cannot regenerate lost branches as easily as new bark, but they can redirect growth and continue thriving despite injuries. This slow, patient healing reflects the different pace of life in plants compared to animals. Trees remind us that healing doesn't always mean erasing damage, but rather adapting, sealing, and continuing to grow despite the scars left behind. Aspirin and other anti-inflammatory drugs can both help and hinder healing. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs like aspirin, ibuprofen, and naproxen, are commonly used to reduce pain and inflammation. By blocking enzymes involved in producing inflammatory chemicals, NSAIDs can provide relief and reduce swelling. However, because inflammation is a necessary part of healing, especially in the early stages, excessive use of NSAIDs can sometimes slow tissue repair. For example, some research suggests that NSAIDs may delay bone healing after fractures and could impair tendon and ligament recovery. The timing and dosage matter significantly. Short-term use to manage pain and allow movement may support healing, while long-term use could interfere. Doctors must balance pain relief with the body's need for controlled inflammation. This illustrates a broader principle in healing. Interventions that reduce symptoms don't always accelerate recovery, and sometimes the discomfort we feel is part of the body's repair work. Understanding this helps us make informed decisions about when to intervene and when to let the body do its work. The vagus nerve plays a key role in the body's healing responses. The vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve, running from the brainstem through the neck and into the chest and abdomen, connecting the brain to many organs including the heart, lungs and digestive system. It's a key component of the parasympathetic nervous system, which governs rest, digestion, and recovery. When the vagus nerve is activated, it slows heart rate, promotes digestion, and reduces inflammation, creating conditions that support healing. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, and even humming can stimulate the vagus nerve, shifting the body from a state of stress to one of relaxation and repair. Research has shown that vagal tone, the activity level of the vagus nerve, is associated with resilience, emotional regulation, and immune function. People with higher vagal tone tend to recover more quickly from stress and illness. The vagus nerve represents a powerful mind-body connection, a pathway through which conscious practices can influence unconscious healing processes, reminding us that we have more control over our health than we might think. Scar massage can improve flexibility and reduce discomfort over time. After a wound heals and a scar forms, the tissue can remain tight, thick, and less flexible than the surrounding skin. Massaging the scar gently but regularly can help break down excess collagen, improve circulation, and make the tissue more pliable. This process, sometimes called scar mobilization, is often recommended by physical therapists for surgical scars or injuries. Massage also desensitizes the area, reducing hypersensitivity that can develop in healed tissue. While it won't erase the scar, it can significantly improve its appearance and function. The technique involves applying gentle pressure in circular motions or along the length of the scar, usually starting a few weeks after the wound has closed. Some people use oils or vitamin E cream, though evidence for topical treatments is mixed. Scar massage reflects a broader truth about healing. It continues long after the initial wound closes. An active participation in that ongoing process can yield benefits. Healing isn't always passive. Sometimes it requires our attention and gentle, persistent care. Dolphins and whales heal from severe injuries with remarkable speed. Marine mammals like dolphins and whales can sustain serious injuries from boat propellers, shark attacks, or entanglement in fishing gear, yet often recover with surprising speed and minimal infection despite living in water teeming with bacteria. Researchers believe several factors contribute to this. These animals have robust immune systems, thick blubber that provides a protective barrier, and possibly antimicrobial compounds in their skin. Their large body size and efficient circulatory systems ensure good blood flow to injuries. Additionally, seawater itself may provide some benefits, such as flushing wounds. Studies of wild dolphins have documented individuals with deep, extensive wounds that healed completely within weeks, leaving only faint scars. Understanding how these animals heal in challenging environments could provide insights into improving human wound care, particularly for injuries at risk of infection. The resilience of marine mammals is a testament to the power of evolution to solve the problem of healing under diverse and often hostile conditions. Exercise in moderation can actually speed recovery from certain injuries. While rest is important after injury, too much inactivity can slow healing and lead to stiffness and muscle loss. Gentle Appropriate movement promotes blood flow, delivers nutrients to healing tissues, and prevents the formation of overly stiff scar tissue. Physical therapists often prescribe controlled exercises early in recovery to maintain flexibility and strength. Movement also signals cells involved in tissue repair, encouraging them to align properly and build functional rather than merely patchy tissue. The key is finding the right balance. Too much activity can re-injure tissue, while too little can delay recovery. This is why rehabilitation programs are tailored to each person's injury and stage of healing. Athletes have long known that active recovery, like light activity after intense training, helps reduce soreness and speeds adaptation. The principle applies to injury as well. Healing is dynamic, not static, and the right kind of movement can be as therapeutic as rest, supporting the body's natural timeline for repair. Chronic inflammation can damage tissue instead of healing it. While acute inflammation is essential for healing, chronic inflammation occurs when the inflammatory response doesn't shut off, persisting for months or even years. This ongoing activation of immune cells can damage healthy tissue, contributing to conditions like arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. In chronic inflammation, the body essentially turns on itself, with immune cells and inflammatory chemicals causing collateral damage. Factors contributing to chronic inflammation include persistent infections, autoimmune disorders, prolonged stress, obesity, poor diet, and exposure to toxins. The pain, swelling, and tissue damage associated with chronic inflammation are not signs of healing, but of a system stuck in overdrive. Treatments focus on reducing inflammation through medications, lifestyle changes, and addressing underlying causes. Understanding the difference between helpful acute inflammation and harmful chronic inflammation is crucial. It shows that healing responses, when dysregulated or prolonged, can become part of the problem. The body's defense mechanisms, so vital in the short term, need to know when to stand down. Aloe vera gel has been used for skin healing for thousands of years. Aloe vera, a succulent plant, produces a clear gel inside its leaves that has been used medicinally for centuries across many cultures. The gel contains vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and compounds with anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. When applied to minor burns, cuts, and skin irritations, aloe vera can soothe pain, reduce inflammation, and promote healing. Studies have shown that it can accelerate wound closure and may improve collagen production. Some research suggests it's particularly effective for first and second degree burns. The plant's healing reputation is so widespread that aloe vera is often kept as a houseplant for easy access to fresh gel. While not a miracle cure and not suitable for deep or infected wounds, aloe vera represents a gentle, natural remedy supported by both traditional use and some modern scientific evidence. It's a bridge between folk medicine and contemporary care, a reminder that nature has provided healing substances that, when used appropriately, can support the body's own repair processes. Your body knows when to stop healing through complex feedback loops. Healing is a carefully regulated process, and cells must know not only when to start repairing tissue, but also when to stop. If healing continued unchecked, you'd end up with excess tissue, tumors, or chronic inflammation. The body uses intricate feedback mechanisms to control this. Growth factors that stimulate cell division are balanced by signals that tell cells to stop dividing once the job is done. Cells communicate through chemical messengers, physical contact, and changes in the tissue environment. When a wound is fully closed and the tissue architecture restored, the production of growth factors declines, cells stop dividing, and temporary structures like blood vessels and scaffolding are dismantled. Fibrosis, the excessive formation of scar tissue, can occur when these stop signals fail. Understanding these regulatory mechanisms is a major focus of research, as learning to enhance or modulate them could improve healing and prevent diseases where regulation goes awry. The fact that healing usually stops at the right time is as remarkable as healing itself, a testament to the body's exquisite self-regulation. Cats purr at frequencies that may promote bone and tissue healing. Domestic cats purr at frequencies between 25 and 150 Hz, a range that research suggests may have therapeutic effects on bone density and tissue repair. Vibrations at these frequencies have been shown in some studies to promote bone growth and healing. This has led to speculation that purring might be a self-healing mechanism for cats, helping them recover from injuries more quickly. Cats spend much of their time resting, and purring during rest could provide a low-energy way to stimulate healing. While the evidence is still preliminary and debated, the idea has captured imaginations and led to investigations into whether similar vibration therapies could benefit humans. Whole-body vibration therapy is being studied for bone density and muscle strength, particularly in elderly populations. If cats purring does aid healing, it would be another example of evolution crafting elegant solutions to biological challenges. It's a soothing thought that the comforting sound of a purring cat might also be part of its own repair process. Dead sea salt and mineral-rich waters have traditional healing uses. The Dead Sea, a salt lake bordered by Jordan and Israel, has the highest salt concentration of any body of water, along with unique minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. For centuries, people have visited the Dead Sea for its purported healing properties, bathing in the water and applying its mineral-rich mud to skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema. Scientific studies have found some support for these traditional uses, with the minerals and high salinity potentially reducing inflammation, promoting skin hydration, and having antimicrobial effects. The Dead Sea's elevation, atmospheric conditions, and sunlight may also contribute to therapeutic effects. Similar mineral-rich thermal springs around the world have healing reputations, and many contain minerals absorbed by the skin during bathing. While not a cure-all, the evidence suggests that certain waters and salts may offer genuine benefits for some conditions, particularly skin disorders. These ancient healing traditions, grounded in direct experience, often contain kernels of truth that modern science is gradually validating and explaining. Melatonin isn't just for sleep, it also has healing and antioxidant properties. Melatonin is a hormone primarily known for regulating sleep-wake cycles, produced by the pineal gland in response to darkness. However, research has revealed that melatonin also acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from oxidative damage. It's involved in immune regulation, reducing inflammation, and supporting tissue repair. Some studies suggest that melatonin can improve wound healing, protect against certain types of tissue injury, and even reduce complications in critical illness. Unlike many antioxidants, melatonin can cross cell membranes and the blood-brain barrier, allowing it to protect cells throughout the body. Its production declines with age, which may contribute to slower healing in older individuals. While melatonin supplements are popular for sleep, their potential role in healing is an area of growing interest. This dual function, regulating both sleep and cellular protection, highlights the interconnectedness of rest and repair. When you sleep and melatonin levels rise, your body is not just resting, but actively engaging multiple healing processes at once. Bee propolis has antimicrobial properties used for wound healing. Bees collect resins from trees and mix them with wax and enzymes to create propolis, a sticky substance used to seal and protect their hives. Propolis has antimicrobial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant properties, which is why bees use it to keep their hives sterile. Humans have used propolis medicinally for thousands of years to treat wounds, infections, and various ailments. Modern research has confirmed many of these traditional uses, finding that propolis can inhibit the growth of bacteria, fungi, and even some viruses. It promotes wound healing by stimulating cell growth and reducing inflammation. Propolis is available as a tincture, ointment, or supplement, and is sometimes included in natural health products. Its composition varies depending on the plants bees visit, which means propolis from different regions can have different properties. Like honey, propolis represents a natural healing substance produced by another species that humans have learned to harness. The fact that bees use it to maintain hive health suggests its effectiveness in creating an environment where healing and protection go hand in hand. Sharks rarely get cancer and heal quickly, intriguing medical researchers. Sharks are often cited as rarely developing cancer. And while this turns out to be somewhat exaggerated, they do have lower cancer rates than many other animals. They also heal from wounds rapidly, despite living in bacteria-laden ocean water. Researchers have been studying sharks to understand what protective mechanisms they might possess. Shark cartilage was once touted as a cancer cure, though studies found it ineffective. More promising are investigations into shark immune systems and compounds in their tissues that have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Sharks have existed for hundreds of millions of years, and their evolutionary history may have equipped them with unique adaptations for health and healing. While we haven't unlocked all their secrets, studying these ancient predators offers insights into alternative biological strategies for fighting disease and repairing damage. Sharks remind us that the natural world is full of unexplored healing mechanisms, waiting to teach us new approaches to medicine. Zinc is essential for immune function and wound repair. Zinc is a trace mineral involved in numerous biological processes, including immune function, protein synthesis, and cell division, all of which are crucial for healing. White blood cells require zinc to function properly, and zinc deficiency impairs immune responses and slows wound healing. Zinc is a component of enzymes that build collagen and repair DNA. People with chronic wounds, such as diabetic ulcers, often have low zinc levels, and supplementation can sometimes improve healing. Dietary sources of zinc include meat, shellfish, legumes, seeds, nuts, and dairy products. However, too much zinc can be harmful and interfere with the absorption of other minerals, so balance is important. Zinc's role in healing has been recognized for decades, with zinc oxide used in ointments and wound dressings for its antimicrobial properties. Ensuring adequate zinc through diet, or when necessary, supplementation is a simple but important step in supporting the body's repair processes, particularly during recovery from injury or illness. Music and sound can influence stress levels and indirectly support healing. Listening to music, especially calming or personally meaningful music, can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, decrease cortisol levels, and improve mood. Since stress and negative emotions can impair immune function and slow healing. Anything that promotes relaxation and emotional well-being can indirectly support recovery. Studies in hospital settings have found that patients who listen to music report less pain, require less pain medication, and sometimes heal faster than those who don't. The mechanisms are complex, involving the nervous system, hormone regulation, and psychological factors. Music therapy is now used in many medical settings to complement traditional treatments. Whether it's classical, jazz, nature sounds, or a favorite song, music can shift the body's state from stress to relaxation, creating an internal environment more conducive to healing. The power of music reminds us that healing is not just about cells and chemicals, but also about experiences, emotions, and the quality of the environment we create for ourselves. Compression bandages help control swelling and support healing. After an injury, swelling is a natural part of the inflammatory response, but excessive swelling can impede healing by increasing pressure on tissues and reducing blood flow. Compression bandages apply gentle, even pressure to the injured area, helping to control swelling by preventing fluid accumulation. This improved circulation can speed the removal of waste products and the delivery of nutrients and oxygen. Compression is one of the key components of the RICE protocol: rest, ice, compression, elevation, commonly recommended for acute injuries. The bandage must be applied correctly, firm enough to provide support, but not so tight that it cuts off circulation. In chronic conditions like venous insufficiency, compression stockings are used long-term to support healing of ulcers and prevent new ones. The simple act of applying controlled pressure harnesses physical principles to support the body's biological healing processes, showing that sometimes mechanical solutions complement biochemical ones. The body can heal broken blood vessels, preventing strokes from being fatal. When a blood vessel in the brain ruptures, causing a hemorrhagic stroke, the body immediately begins trying to repair the damage. Platelets rush to the site, forming clots to stop the bleeding. Blood vessels in the surrounding area can dilate to provide alternative routes for blood flow, maintaining oxygen delivery to brain tissue. Over time, the body breaks down and reabsorbs the leaked blood, and the damaged vessel may be sealed or repaired. Depending on the severity and location of the bleed, recovery can be partial, or in some cases, quite complete. The brain's ability to reorganize itself, known as neuroplasticity, allows surviving neurons to take over functions of damaged areas to some extent. Rehabilitation, including physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy, supports this healing by encouraging the brain to form new connections. While strokes can cause lasting damage, the body's immediate response and long-term adaptability can enable significant recovery, highlighting resilience in the face of catastrophic injury. Ginger has anti-inflammatory properties that may aid recovery. Ginger, a root used for thousands of years in cooking and medicine, contains compounds called gingerols that have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Traditional medicine has long used ginger to treat nausea, digestive issues, and pain. Modern research supports some of these uses, finding that ginger can reduce muscle soreness after exercise, decrease pain in arthritis, and modulate inflammatory pathways. By reducing inflammation, ginger may support healing processes and improve comfort during recovery. It's generally safe when consumed in normal dietary amounts, though high doses or supplements should be used cautiously, especially by people on certain medications. Ginger can be consumed fresh, dried, as a tea, or in supplement form. Like many traditional remedies, ginger's healing properties reflect centuries of empirical observation, now being validated and explained by science. Including anti-inflammatory foods like ginger in your diet is a gentle, accessible way to support your body's ongoing efforts to maintain health and repair damage. Elephants can recognize and mourn their dead, suggesting emotional healing processes. Elephants are known for their intelligence, memory, and complex social bonds. When an elephant dies, others in the herd often gather around the body, touching it gently with their trunks, and may stand vigil for hours or even days. They've been observed returning to the bones of deceased herd members years later, touching and examining them carefully. While we can't know exactly what elephants feel, their behavior suggests a form of grief and remembrance. This recognition of death and apparent mourning may serve social and emotional functions, helping the herd process loss and maintain bonds. For humans, grieving is now understood as an important part of emotional healing after loss. The fact that elephants and other intelligent animals show similar behaviors suggests that processing emotions, including grief, may be a broader biological need. Healing isn't just physical. It encompasses the mind and heart, and sometimes the deepest healing comes from acknowledging loss and allowing ourselves to feel and remember. Curcumin in turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. Turmeric, a bright yellow spice used extensively in Indian cuisine, contains curcumin, a compound with potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Curcumin has been shown in studies to reduce inflammation at the molecular level, potentially helping with conditions like arthritis, and it may support wound healing and tissue repair. Traditional Ayurvedic medicine has used turmeric for thousands of years to treat a variety of ailments. However, curcumin is poorly absorbed by the body on its own, which is why it's often combined with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that enhances absorption. Research into curcumin is ongoing, with interest in its potential roles in preventing chronic diseases and supporting recovery. While not a cure-all and not effective for everyone, turmeric represents another example of a traditional remedy with scientifically validated benefits. Adding turmeric to your diet, or in consultation with a healthcare provider, taking curcumin supplements, may offer support for your body's anti-inflammatory and healing processes. Forest bathing, or spending time in nature, can reduce stress and support health. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, involves spending time in forested areas, taking in the atmosphere through all senses. Research has shown that time in nature can lower blood pressure, reduce cortisol levels, improve mood, and enhance immune function. Phytoncides, airborne chemicals released by trees, may have beneficial effects when inhaled. The peacefulness, fresh air, gentle sounds, and visual beauty of natural environments all contribute to stress reduction. Since chronic stress impairs healing, practices that promote relaxation and well-being can indirectly support recovery and resilience. Even brief nature exposure, like a walk in a park, has measurable benefits. In a world that's increasingly urbanized and fast-paced, reconnecting with nature offers a simple, accessible way to support mental and physical health. Healing happens not just in clinics and hospitals, but also in quiet forests, beside flowing water, and under open skies, where the mind can rest and the body can restore itself in the presence of life's ancient rhythms. Massage therapy can reduce pain, improve circulation, and support recovery. Massage involves manipulating soft tissues through pressure and movement, and it's one of the oldest forms of healing. Therapeutic massage can reduce muscle tension, improve blood and lymph circulation, decrease pain, and promote relaxation. These effects can support healing by delivering nutrients to tissues, removing metabolic waste, reducing stress, hormones, and improving sleep. Massage is used in physical therapy to aid recovery from injuries, in hospitals to help patients manage pain and anxiety, and in sports medicine to enhance performance and recovery. Different techniques, from gentle Swedish massage to deeper tissue work, serve different purposes. While massage alone doesn't heal injuries, it creates conditions that support the body's own healing mechanisms. The therapeutic power of touch is deeply rooted in human experience, and modern research continues to confirm that skilled, compassionate touch can be a valuable tool in the journey toward health and wholeness. The body heals in stages, not all at once, following a predictable timeline. Wound healing typically progresses through overlapping phases: hemostasis, stopping the bleeding; inflammation, bringing immune cells and cleaning the wound; proliferation, building new tissue; and remodeling, strengthening and refining the repair. Each phase has specific cellular players and timeframes. Hemostasis happens within minutes. Inflammation lasts days. Proliferation can take weeks, and remodeling continues for months or even years. Understanding this timeline helps set realistic expectations. A wound may look healed on the surface within days, but full strength and organization of the tissue may take much longer. Impatience or inappropriate activity during early healing stages can disrupt the process and lead to complications. This staged approach reflects the complexity of coordinating many cell types, signals, and materials to restore tissue. Healing is a process, not an event, unfolding according to biological rhythms that can't be rushed but can be supported. Respecting this timeline, providing what the body needs, and allowing time for each stage is key to successful recovery. Epsom salt baths can relieve muscle soreness and promote relaxation. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and while soaking in a warm Epsom salt bath has been a folk remedy for sore muscles and stress for generations, scientific evidence for its effectiveness is mixed. Proponents believe that magnesium is absorbed through the skin during a bath, helping relax muscles and reduce inflammation. Magnesium does play a role in muscle and nerve function, and some people report relief from soreness and tension after Epsom salt baths. However, research on whether significant magnesium absorption occurs through the skin is limited. Even if the primary benefit is simply the relaxation and warmth of a bath, which itself promotes circulation and eases tension, that's still valuable. Baths can reduce stress, improve sleep, and provide a comforting ritual. If Epsom salt baths help you feel better, whether through physiological effects or the placebo response, they can be a gentle addition to your self-care routine. Healing often involves both body and mind, and practices that bring comfort and relaxation support the overall process. Loneliness and social isolation can impair immune function and healing. Human beings are social creatures, and connection with others is not just psychologically beneficial, but physiologically important. Studies have shown that people who are lonely or socially isolated have weaker immune responses, higher levels of inflammation, and slower wound healing. Chronic loneliness activates stress responses, leading to elevated cortisol, and other changes that suppress immune function. Conversely, strong social connections, supportive relationships, and a sense of belonging are associated with better health outcomes and faster recovery from illness and injury. The mechanisms involve both psychological pathways, such as reduced stress and improved mood, and direct biological effects on immune and hormonal systems. This is why hospitals encourage visitors, why support groups exist for people with chronic illnesses, and why social connection is considered a key component of well-being. Healing is not a solitary endeavor. We heal better when we're supported, loved, and connected to others, a reminder that we are deeply interdependent beings. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation and support healing. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, flax seeds, walnuts, and fish oil supplements, have anti-inflammatory properties. The body converts omega-3s into molecules that help resolve inflammation, bringing the immune response back to baseline after an injury. This is different from simply blocking inflammation. Omega-3s help the body transition from the inflammatory phase to the healing and repair phase more efficiently. Research suggests that adequate omega-3 intake can improve wound healing, reduce chronic inflammation, and support heart and brain health. The modern diet, often high in omega-6 fatty acids from vegetable oils and processed foods and low in omega-3s, can create an imbalance that promotes inflammation. Eating more omega-3 rich foods or taking supplements can help restore balance. As with many aspects of nutrition, the connection between what we eat and how we heal is profound. Omega-3s are building blocks and signaling molecules, tiny but powerful contributors to the body's ability to recover and thrive. Blood types can affect clotting and healing after injury. Your blood type, determined by specific proteins on red blood cells, can influence various aspects of health, including clotting and healing. People with type O blood, for instance, may have slightly lower levels of certain clotting factors, which can affect bleeding and clotting times. Those with type A, B, or AB blood have higher levels of von Willebrand factor, a protein involved in clotting, which can influence both bleeding and the risk of clot-related problems. While blood type is just one of many factors affecting healing, it's part of the intricate genetics that shape how your body responds to injury. Blood type research also extends to disease susceptibility and immune function, revealing subtle ways that genetic variation influences health. Understanding these differences helps personalize medical care and reminds us that healing is not one size fits all. Each person's body brings its own unique set of strengths, vulnerabilities, and strategies for repair. The body can sometimes heal nerve damage, though it's slow and limited. Nerves in the peripheral nervous system, those outside the brain and spinal cord, have some capacity to regenerate if damaged. When a nerve is injured, the part of the nerve beyond the injury site degenerates. But if the nerve cell body survives, it can sprout new fibers that slowly grow toward their original targets. This process, called Wallerian degeneration and regeneration, can take months or years and is often incomplete. Nerves in the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord have much more limited regenerative capacity, which is why spinal cord injuries often result in permanent deficits. Researchers are working to understand the barriers to nerve regeneration and develop treatments to enhance it, including nerve grafts, growth factors, and electrical stimulation. While nerve healing is challenging, the fact that any regeneration occurs at all is remarkable, showing that even the complex wiring of the nervous system retains some ability to repair itself. Your attitude and mental state can influence physical healing outcomes. The mind-body connection is real and measurable. Optimism, a sense of control, and positive expectations are associated with better health outcomes and faster recovery. People with positive outlooks often engage in healthier behaviors, adhere better to treatment, and have stronger social support, all of which support healing. But there are also direct physiological effects. Positive emotions can reduce stress hormones, enhance immune function, and influence pain perception. This doesn't mean that positive thinking cures disease, or that being ill is a failure of mindset. Illness and injury happen regardless of attitude. However, how you cope, the meaning you find, and the support you accept can shape your experience and your body's response. Psychological interventions, such as cognitive behavioral therapy and stress management, are increasingly recognized as valuable components of medical care. Healing is holistic, involving body, mind, emotions, and spirit. Caring for your mental and emotional health is not a luxury, but an essential part of caring for your whole self. Reptiles like lizards can regrow tails, a defense and healing mechanism. Many lizard species can shed their tails when threatened by predators, a process called autotomy. The tail detaches at a specific breaking point, and the severed tail often continues to wiggle, distracting the predator while the lizard escapes. Over the following weeks to months, the lizard regrows its tail, though the new tail often has a simpler internal structure, with cartilage instead of bone. This regeneration is driven by a wound healing response that transitions into a regenerative program, activating genes that guide tissue rebuilding. The regrown tail may be shorter or differently colored, but is functional. This ability represents an evolutionary trade-off. The cost of losing and regrowing a tail is outweighed by the survival benefit of escaping predation. Lizard tail regeneration is a subject of scientific study, with researchers hoping to understand the molecular switches that allow regeneration. Knowledge that might someday be applied to human medicine. It's a vivid example of how evolution has crafted diverse solutions to the universal need for healing and survival. The gut-brain axis links digestive health with mental and physical healing. The gut and brain are in constant communication through the gut-brain axis, a network involving nerves, hormones, and immune signals. The gut contains millions of neurons and produces many of the same neurotransmitters found in the brain, such as serotonin. The gut microbiome, the community of bacteria living in your intestines, plays a role in this communication, influencing mood, stress responses, and immune function. Disruption of gut health can affect mental health and vice versa. Stress can alter gut bacteria composition and increase intestinal permeability, potentially triggering inflammation. Conversely, a healthy gut supports a healthy immune system and emotional resilience, both important for healing. Probiotics, prebiotics, and a diet rich in fiber and fermented foods can support gut health. The gut-brain axis illustrates that healing is interconnected across body systems. Taking care of your digestive system is taking care of your brain, your immune system, and your capacity to heal. Elderly individuals heal more slowly due to aging processes. As we age, healing slows for many reasons. Cell division declines, collagen production decreases, immune function weakens, and blood circulation may be less efficient. Older skin is thinner and more fragile, and chronic conditions like diabetes or vascular disease, more common with age, further impair healing. Older adults are also at higher risk for infections and complications. However, aging doesn't mean healing stops, and many older people recover well from injuries and surgeries with proper care. Nutrition, hydration, movement, and management of chronic conditions all support healing at any age. Advances in geriatric medicine focus on optimizing healing in older adults, recognizing that with appropriate support, the body retains considerable capacity for repair even late in life. Understanding the changes that come with aging helps tailor care and set realistic expectations. While healing may take longer, the underlying processes remain, a testament to the body's enduring resilience across the lifespan. Leeches and maggots have been used medically to aid healing. It may sound medieval, but leeches and maggots are still used in modern medicine for specific purposes. Leeches secrete substances in their saliva that prevent blood clotting and promote circulation. They're used after surgeries like reattaching severed fingers or tissue grafts to reduce blood congestion and improve healing. Medical-grade leeches are raised in sterile conditions and used once. Maggots, specifically larvae of certain fly species, are used in maggot debridement therapy to clean wounds. The larvae consume dead and infected tissue while leaving healthy tissue intact, and they secrete substances that kill bacteria and promote healing. This can be especially valuable for chronic wounds that don't respond to conventional treatments. Both therapies, once common and then largely abandoned, have been rediscovered as useful tools. They remind us that nature has offered healing solutions for millennia, and sometimes old methods, refined by modern standards, still have a place in contemporary medicine. Pain is a signal that guides healing by prompting rest and protection. Pain is unpleasant, but it serves an essential function in healing. It alerts you to injury, prompts you to protect the damaged area, and encourages rest, all of which support recovery. Acute pain is a signal that something is wrong and needs attention. It prevents you from further injuring yourself. As healing progresses, pain typically decreases, providing feedback that recovery is occurring. However, pain can become chronic, persisting even after tissue has healed, which is a separate issue involving changes in the nervous system. Effective pain management during healing involves balancing relief with the recognition that some discomfort is part of the process. Overuse of pain medication can mask important signals, while inadequate relief can cause stress that hinders healing. Understanding pain as communication, not just sensation, helps you respond appropriately. Listening to your body, respecting its signals, and seeking help when pain is overwhelming or doesn't improve are all part of supporting your body's healing journey. Healing is an energy-intensive process requiring adequate nutrition. Repairing tissue, fighting infection, and regenerating cells all require energy and raw materials. Your body needs calories, protein, vitamins, minerals, and water to fuel healing. Malnutrition or inadequate intake can significantly slow recovery and increase the risk of complications. This is why healthcare providers often emphasize nutrition after surgery or during illness. The body prioritizes healing, sometimes at the expense of other functions, which is why you might feel fatigued or lose weight during recovery. Eating a balanced diet with enough calories, lean proteins, colorful fruits and vegetables, whole grains and healthy fats provides what your body needs. Sometimes supplementation of specific nutrients like vitamin C, zinc, or vitamin D is recommended if deficiencies are present. Healing is construction work at the cellular level, and just like any building project, it requires the right materials, tools, and energy. Nourishing your body well is one of the most direct ways to support healing. Some wounds heal with minimal scarring, others leave permanent marks. The final appearance of a healed wound depends on many factors: the depth and size of the injury, its location, how it was cared for, your age, genetics, and skin type. Shallow wounds that affect only the outer skin layer often heal without scars. Deeper wounds that reach the dermis usually leave scars because the body repairs them quickly with collagen rather than perfectly reconstructing the tissue. Infections, tension on the wound, and poor nutrition can worsen scarring. Certain areas of the body, like the chest and shoulders, are prone to thicker scars or keloids, where scar tissue grows excessively. Genetics play a role. Some people naturally scar more than others. Treatments like silicone sheets, pressure therapy, laser therapy, and surgical revision can improve the appearance of scars, but they rarely erase them completely. Scars are the body's record of healing, marks that tell the story of injury and recovery. While we often wish for invisible healing, scars remind us that we've survived, repaired, and continued. Gratitude and positive social interactions may support immune health. Emerging research suggests that cultivating gratitude, practicing kindness, and engaging in positive social interactions can have beneficial effects on immune function and overall health. Gratitude practices, like keeping a gratitude journal, have been linked to reduced stress, better sleep, and improved mood, all of which support healing. Positive emotions and social bonds can influence the nervous system and immune system in ways that reduce inflammation and enhance resilience. While these effects are often subtle, they contribute to an overall environment in which the body can heal more effectively. This doesn't mean ignoring genuine suffering or pretending to feel grateful when you don't. Rather, it's about finding small moments of appreciation, connection, and warmth when possible. Healing is influenced not just by medical treatments and biology, but by the quality of our lives, our relationships, and our inner worlds. Cultivating positivity and connection is a form of self-care that nourishes the whole person. The body has backup systems for almost every critical healing function. One of the remarkable features of human biology is redundancy. Most vital systems have backups or alternative pathways that can compensate if primary systems fail. You have 2 kidneys, but can live with one. If one blood vessel is blocked, collateral vessels can often provide alternative routes for blood flow. Multiple types of immune cells can recognize and fight pathogens. So if one system is compromised, others can compensate. This redundancy reflects millions of years of evolution, where having backup systems increased survival. It's why the body can often heal and adapt even when damaged, finding alternative ways to maintain function. This built-in resilience means you're not as fragile as you might think. Your body has layers of protection and multiple strategies for every challenge. A sophisticated design that prioritizes survival and healing, even in the face of significant adversity. Dental pulp can heal itself if the damage isn't too severe. Inside each tooth is living tissue called dental pulp, containing nerves and blood vessels. When a tooth is damaged by decay or trauma, the pulp can sometimes initiate repair processes. Cells called odontoblasts can produce new dentin, the hard tissue that protects the pulp, creating a barrier against further damage. This natural healing can save a tooth that might otherwise need root canal treatment. However, if the damage is too extensive or infection sets in, the pulp's healing capacity is overwhelmed. Dentists try to preserve pulp vitality when possible, because a living tooth is stronger and more resilient than a dead one. The fact that teeth contain living, healing tissue might surprise people who think of teeth as simply hard, inert structures. This healing capacity depends on good circulation to the pulp, which is why maintaining overall oral health through brushing, flossing, and good nutrition supports not just preventing damage, but also the tooth's ability to repair itself when minor damage occurs. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy can enhance healing in certain conditions. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy involves breathing pure oxygen in a pressurized chamber, which increases the amount of oxygen dissolved in the blood and delivered to tissues. This can be helpful for wounds that heal poorly due to inadequate oxygen supply, such as diabetic foot ulcers, radiation injuries, and certain infections. The increased oxygen promotes blood vessel growth, enhances white blood cell function, and supports the energy production needed for tissue repair. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is also used for decompression sickness in divers and carbon monoxide poisoning. While not a cure-all and not appropriate for every condition, it represents a way to optimize one of healing's most basic requirements: adequate oxygen. The therapy is typically given in specialized medical facilities over multiple sessions. It shows how understanding the fundamental needs of healing tissues, in this case oxygen, can lead to targeted interventions that support the body's natural repair processes in situations where they're struggling. Collagen supplements may support skin and joint healing, though evidence is mixed. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body, providing structure to skin, bones, tendons, and ligaments. As you age, collagen production declines, contributing to wrinkles, weaker joints, and slower healing. Collagen supplements, usually derived from animal sources, have become popular with claims of improving skin elasticity, joint health, and wound healing. Some studies suggest that collagen supplementation can improve skin hydration and reduce wrinkles, and may help with joint pain in some people. The proposed mechanism is that when you consume collagen, it's broken down into amino acids that your body can use to build new collagen. However, research is ongoing and results are mixed. Your body can also make collagen from any protein source if you provide the necessary building blocks and cofactors like vitamin C. While collagen supplements may offer benefits for some people, maintaining a balanced diet with adequate protein, vitamin C, and other nutrients is the foundation for supporting your body's own collagen production and healing. Touch and physical contact can have healing effects on the nervous system. Human touch, when safe and consensual, can have profound effects on the nervous system and healing. Gentle touch activates pressure receptors in the skin that send signals to the brain, triggering the release of oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin reduces stress hormones, lowers blood pressure, and can even reduce pain perception. Studies of premature infants have shown that skin-to-skin contact, called kangaroo care, improves weight gain, temperature regulation, and outcomes. Massage therapy, holding hands with a loved one, or even petting an animal can provide similar benefits, shifting the nervous system toward a state that supports healing and well-being. Touch is one of our most fundamental ways of connecting and communicating. For people who are isolated or in pain, appropriate touch can provide comfort and activate healing pathways. This is why healthcare providers are trained to use touch thoughtfully, and why human connection, in all its forms, is recognized as essential, not just for emotional health, but for physical healing as well. And so, our gentle journey through the world of healing comes to a close. From the microscopic work of white blood cells to the slow, patient regeneration of a salamander's limb, we've seen that healing is woven into the very fabric of life. It's happening now, within you, as you breathe and rest. Cells are renewing, tissues are repairing, and your body is quietly doing the work it was designed to do. You don't need to control it or even think about it. The wisdom of healing is ancient, built into every living thing over billions of years. Whether you're recovering from something specific or simply resting at the end of a long day, know that your body is on your side, working patiently and tirelessly toward balance and wholeness. Let these thoughts settle softly now. May you sleep deeply, wake refreshed, and trust in your own capacity to heal. If you enjoyed this journey, consider liking and subscribing to the Cozy Curiosity channel, where curiosity and calm come together each night. Sleep well, stay curious, and until next time, rest easy in the knowledge that healing is always happening